understand what went wrong.
Adelaide, which was one of the first songs that came to us.
It's essentially a breakup song to me, the way I hear it, but it's a breakup song where one of the people in it doesn't really know what the hell happened. The other person knows, and the other person wants it to end, but the guy, he doesn't really have a clue. But it's ending, and I don't know if Adelaide's a girl or a town.
I think about walking the streets of Adelaide in that really amazing time of the year when there's festivals on and it's a flurry and it's beautiful, and you bump into people that you meet and you have a connection with and you'll never ever see them again, and that distance just grows, and you have a moment with someone and then it's gone. So Adelaide talks to me of those moments of time that you'll never have again, and to hold on to them because they are precious.
I recall I was half seas over.
So half seas actually is a term denoting being quite drunk.
So that song went back and forth between Roz and I quite a bit before it got to that stage.
For me, when I thought about the idea of the song, it meant, again, distance.
It's only afterwards that I actually kind of occurred to me. I mean, I know the saying half seas, meaning to be drunk, but it hadn't really occurred to me that that's what we were singing about. And because the whole time I really had more thought about putting distance between yourself and problems.
I used to spend half my time in an aeroplane around different parts of the world, and it's really important to, again, hang on to those relationships, because sometimes when you don't look after things, they sail away in the sea.
Some songs more than others have been really sent back a lot and rewritten, and some songs, not many on the record, but some were pretty firm, and then we just kind of elaborated a bit, but some were like really collaborative, and that was one of the ones that was really collaborative, and I think it's kind of shows as one of the better songs on the record but that's how I feel about it.
And if I'm still here, if it comes to it, at least I'll be half seas over this. If I could start again, I'd find a different way, but it's too late.
Two really good friends of mine are married and they've got a couple of kids, and one of them has to travel a bit for work, not that much, but they have to go out of town for a while sometimes, and particularly it seems that sometimes it's inconvenient times, and there was a moment coming up and it thought he had to go away for Christmas. And so this was I just kind of wanted to write this dialogue between these two people that are really close friends to me. So I won't mention their name, but so I hope they don't mind me putting words in their mouth. But it didn't actually happen either in the end. He didn't have to go away for Christmas, which is nice. But it's kind of, it's essentially kind of a frustrated love song in a way, I suppose.
80% of the songs on this record are so visceral to me. I remember exactly where I was and how I felt when I received them. Like if Anthony sent me a draft, or if I wrote the body of the song, I know exactly what I was doing. I know exactly where I was sitting. I know exactly what the weather outside was doing. And that's never happened to me before when it comes to writing. I don't know if people have that, but I never really did until this project. So December, I was house sitting in the rainforest in far north Queensland, a big double-storey kind of Queenslander, and it was really rainy and dark as it is in far north Queensland in December, and really super, super hot. And the rainforest outside was making the day dark, and it was drizzly and sweaty, and part of me thought that yeah, part of me thought that I was in a relationship, and I wasn't. So I was kind of writing from a whole different perspective.
No,
Why
can't
you
stay.
Tracks are rumbling. Words fall down like rain.
Roz started King Street. That was one that she started. And she started writing it, I think she was in Gympie, staying on King Street in a house for one of the many projects that Roz does. She's always doing projects all over the place.
The house that I was staying in was this beautiful white Queenslander and overlooked, it was at the back of the Gympie Hospital. And so Anthony and I were texting and I was telling him about, you know, what I was doing, and he was like, what are you doing in Gympie? I'm like, I'm doing this project. And he's like, you're on King Street?
My family lived on the same street before I was born, and my brother was born in the hospital on that street. So it's kind of a nice sort of, I don't think it really means anything, but it's a nice sort of little bit of symmetry with the song.
I wrote the first draft of King Street and sent it to him, and it came back the way that you hear it now. And again, very visceral, very great memories, very stark memories. And I think I was also heartbroken at the time too, but you know, every songwriter is at some point.
With a lot of the songs on the record, it's about kind of finding somewhere else to get away, put some distance between you and, you know, you and your problems. It's one of my favourites on the record. I think Roz's lyrics on it are, I don't know, just really honest and strong.
I'm not fine, but I'll be right at King Street. On the train.
Lights was also one of the first ones we recorded for the record. I think from memory we recorded the vocal for Dunes on Shelley, the Sunbury song, and then we also recorded California for Roz's record. And then late in the night we decided to keep going and do a couple of things, and we recorded Lights, and we set up just live, kind of similar to what we're doing today. It's just a couple of mics and recorded in a couple of takes, and it was just, I don't know, it was just like one of those really special moments in the studio, you know, that you just kind of, just seemed like we'd captured something, you know, that might not happen again. It was just really nice. I mean, the gist of the song, I think, is about realising you need someone when you don't have them next to you, and you know, so it's quite a sentimental song, really, I think. But you know, having distance between two people, and you kind of end up realising how much you love them, I suppose. So.
If you're home, please leave the light on. I can't find it on my own. Lontano to Casa. I pray you know what I mean. Lontano to take too far away from me.
Anthony had an idea that he wanted to write a theme song.
I think everyone needs a theme song. I don't know, you know, and that's our theme song, and I think it's so twee is the way I think of it. It's just such a kind of, it's kind of sugary and kind of stupid, and I like it, you know. It's just an out and out love song. I think that's the way I feel about it. It's got a physics joke in it that I put in there for Jo. She's a physics nerd. The gravity line.
We wrote a verse each of the theme song and tried to, which is interesting idea to try and, you know, what he would email me a part of the song and then I would email it back, and to kind of get into that person's head and to try and follow a narrative is quite funny. So Lontano de casa, never far from your home. You're never far from my home. You are always welcome to my home.
Yeah, no, that's just our stupid theme song. I love it. I love playing it. I love singing it with Roz, you know.
And all disappears. Why are you still there?
That's not to be mentioned. If I am still a child, can I please go home tonight?
Feeling like a kid and acting like a kid, and you know, is something that you should hang on to your whole life, and you should, you know, that's a good thing. But in certain situations, certain people, I don't know if it's kind of too much the history you have with these people, or if it's a power dynamic thing, or what it is. But sometimes you can be in a room with someone and they just make you feel like a little kid, and it's not a good feeling.
Starting friends, ending strangers.
Pantomime terrifies me because it's so
Please go home tonight.
so small and beautiful, and I'm not used to playing small and beautiful songs. I'm used to being loud and raucous, and it terrifies me. But I think what doesn't break you makes you stronger. So yeah.
I came home one night after being in one of those situations, and I just felt drained, and I couldn't really kind of put my finger on what it was. I just felt, you know, I just felt lousy. And then I started singing. I sort of picked up the guitar and I wrote the song at night, and I didn't kind of really reflect on it afterwards, but that was kind of what was going on, you know, like I just kind of felt like I was kind of helpless kid, you know. It's like, get me, you know, when I get home it'll be all right. So I guess, I mean, it's about my insecurities as much as anything, that song. But it's probably, yeah, I would say it's probably the most kind of personal song in a lot of ways.
Paint is peeling from the walls.
Without sounding always look on the bright side of life kind of thing, I mean, that's kind of what it is, you know. It's about, you know, what's the point if you can't try and find the silver line? You know, like, you know, you might be forced to be distant from each other, or you might be forced into situations you don't like, but if you you know, if you don't try and find the positives, then yeah, well, you're stuffed.
To me, has really fantastic overtones of Simon and Garfunkel, which is, you know, kind of the fodder that I grew up on. So when I was kind of listening and making a harmony, making a bit of a discordant harmony in that work, I was kind of fantasizing about being, you know, in Simon and Garfunkel, and I think, wow, that's a fun fantasy to have.
It's one of my favourite bits of Roz's singing on the record, like there's some of the harmonies she sings, and I don't know what the hell she's doing. You know, it doesn't, which is great. You know, I love it.
Riding on the silver line, waiting for you there.
Forgotten is a song for a friend of ours who's no longer on the planet. And, you know, I think the last couple of years, more than anything, I think the music industry has taken has seen a massive toll, not just through COVID, but, you know, specialists in our fields struggling to understand why they do it. It has to be more than a passion. You've got to feed your family, you've got to feed your kids, and when sometimes you can't make those ends meet. Sometimes, you know, trouble comes, and you can't balance stuff in your head. And so it's a bit of a tribute for me, for a friend of ours who's in the music industry, who's no longer here, who couldn't make those things match. You'll never be forgotten.
Here I go, falling once again. A long time sleeping, my friend. My ticket, fell in love with how this rolls, this town, the heart, the cold.
I wrote that song when I was in California, and I was trying to get back from a really remote part of California. I was doing a project with a native Indian dance group native to that community, and I was trying to get back to the airport, and someone said, "Oh, you have to catch the Greyhound." So I bought a ticket to jump on the Greyhound, and then I was working in this project that morning, and I was kind of had all my luggage with me, and this guy who I was working with said, "No, don't catch the Greyhound. I'll drive you. I'll take you to this part of the state, and there you catch a ferry, and you catch a ferry around the bay and underneath the San Francisco Bridge, and it'll get you to the airport." So I threw my ticket away, and he had no air conditioning in his car, and it was a beautiful experience, and we remain friends to this day. So, you know, again, distance, you know, long travelling distance, and writing down ideas on the backs of, you know, napkins.
Never get back anything, you open the door, you said.
I really like the song. I think it kind of, I don't know, it's positive. I don't know if it's intentionally positive or not, but it feels like it's a kind of a nice positive lift to the record, you know. So, yeah.
We've got nothing left to prove. Sometimes I wish we did.
I know how this story ends.
Anthony made a comment just before that taking sides was like almost like the anthem of last year. And, you know, last year, which was 2020, was a tough year for a lot of people. Tougher for others, I suspect. You know, I was pretty lucky where I live in far north Queensland to be away from the toughness. But, you know, we all take the tough stories differently. And I guess if we just all kind of listen to each other and just kind of, you know, we don't have to be in the same town, but if we all just listen to each other and love each other, we'll get through stuff. It's not that hard.
You know, the idea is really to be the best friend you can be to someone. You just got to be there for them. There's no sides. You know, as soon as you start taking sides in anything, it's just, you know, it's just ruins it. You know, the best friend you can be. Just, you know, no point taking sides. No one's to blame. Everyone's, you know, everyone's running out of time. Don't waste it picking sides, you know.